Okay, I'm not gonna do it like this. Hey everyone, I recently just saw the Avengers, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts on it.
Now, I gotta say, Marvel has really done well in building up these films. Ever since we got that scene after the credits of Iron Man with Nick Fury, it completely changed everything in the comic book movie world.
When I originally saw Iron Man, I thought it was just gonna be Iron Man, nothing else. I never actually thought Marvel would really seriously do a crossover film. I just thought everyone would just stick to their own series.
But thankfully, Marvel went the extra mile, and now we have an Avengers film. I suppose that before I give my thoughts on the actual film, I should give a few thoughts on the other films really quick, and how the films were connected. In 2008, we got Iron Man, and that was a pretty good film. I love Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. They picked the perfect guy for that part. With him as Stark, you would look forward to the dialogue scenes just as much as the action scenes. Everyone else does a good job, but I still think that Terrence Howard is a better choice for Rhodes than Don Cheadle. Anyways, after the credits, Nick Fury appears and we see him talking about the Avengers Initiative. About a month later, The Incredible Hulk came out, and I like that one a little bit more than Iron Man, but they're both still pretty great. I really wish that they would have kept Edward Norton as Bruce Banner, because once again, they picked a great choice. But anyways, this film is supposed to take place during and after both Iron Man movies. At the end of this film, there's a scene featuring Tony Stark, who basically tells General Ross that they are putting a team together. After the Hulk, we had to wait 2 years for Iron Man 2, and the anticipation was very high. I think it's a good sequel, but it's not as good as the first one, or The Incredible Hulk. Anyways, after the credits, Agent Phil Coulson is shown finding Thor's hammer. This scene actually does appear in Thor, but it's still kind of neat. 1 year later, we finally come to Thor, which I think is definitely the weakest out of the Avengers films. It's not horrible, it's just not really that good. I just didn't really enjoy it that much. But I still think all the actors were really good. Tom Hiddleston is the one who steals the show, playing Thor's adopted brother Loki, though. After the credits of Thor, we see Nick Fury talking to Dr. Eric Selvig, and he shows him the Tesseract, but as it turns out, Loki is controlling him, which shows that Loki will in fact be the main villain in the Avengers. Last but not least, Captain America came out, and this was my favorite movie of last year, and it was much better than Thor. Instead of getting a scene after the credits this time, we get a trailer for the Avengers, and after watching this film at the midnight premiere, I was hyped beyond belief for Avengers. It was insane.
And now we're on to the Avengers.
Putting a film like this together and giving all these characters their due is a big task, but thankfully they got a great choice in Joss Whedon to do it. Everyone is still as interesting in their roles as ever, and finally Sam Jackson gets more than 2 lines at this time. The plot in this film, without giving too much away, has all the Avengers teaming up to stop Loki and his army, the Chitauri, which is the Ultimate Universe version of the Skrulls, but there's a little bit more than that going on, that if you manage to stick after the credits.
And now the verdict. Did I like it? Well, to answer your question, I fucking love this movie. I fucking love it. It's phenomenal. It's just beautiful. I saw it 3 times on Friday. 3 times. I've never seen a movie 3 times, like in theaters on the same day. I went to the midnight showing, I went later that day, then I went later that night, and I saw it in 3D. Just because I was wondering if it was going to be better. This movie is wonderful. Everyone does a fantastic job in here. I was surprised how much I enjoyed Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner, and I thought that it was really him who stole the show as Bruce Banner / the Hulk. The best part of the movie has to be the confrontation between him and Loki at Stark Tower. I won't spoil it, but let me tell you, it's a glorious moment that will have you applauding just as much as laughing. Now that doesn't mean a bad thing, it's just, oh god, it's fantastic. If I had to complain though, I would say I didn't really feel suspense for the main characters. Simply because I knew they were going to go on to make sequels. Maybe if they didn't say they were going to do that, then maybe I would have felt suspense. But that still doesn't mean you shouldn't go and see this movie. You have to go and see this movie. It's like James Bond, you know they're not going to kill him. And don't really complain to me about spoiling that aspect of the film, because we all know they wouldn't just end here. But after seeing this film, I am really looking forward to the next movie in the series, which is going to be Iron Man 3. Also, be sure to stick around after the credits for both scenes. I'm sure most of you should know that by now, but this is just a reminder. Overall, The Avengers is a kick-ass movie. I highly recommend that you go and see it. No, scratch that. I demand that you go and see it. Go stand up and run to your movie theater right now, because it's good exercise and you have to see this movie. Anyways, everyone, thank you for watching this review. Comment, rate, or like, or whatever it is now. Subscribe, because I feel like I'm low in that department. Anyways, everyone, have a good night. And go see Avengers.